What if we want to take our unit circle a step further, say cut it into eighths instead of quarters? Well, we need to come up with a way to represent these points 3 different ways: coordinates, degrees, and radians. We'll take the easiest way, degrees. We see that our eighths are halfway between the quarters. Halfway between 0 and 90 is 45 degrees. And now we're essentially adding 45 to our quarters. So 90 plus 45 is 135 degrees. Halfway between 180 and 270 is 225 degrees. And our last point will be 315 degrees. What about radians? Well, we do the same thing. Halfway between 0 and pi over 2 is just pi over 4. Now we're adding pi over 4s to our quarters. Pi over 2 plus pi over 4 is just 3 pi over 4. Halfway between pi and 3 pi over 2 is 5 pi over 4. And our last point is 7 pi over 4. But coordinates get a little tricky. They're not exactly halfway between 1, 0 and 0, 1, for instance. Our coordinates will not be 1/2, 1/2. Instead, let us make a triangle. And we'll represent that triangle over here. This triangle is a 45, 45, 90 triangle, which means that 2 of its angles are 45 degrees and 1 is 90. The hypotenuse of this triangle is just the radius of the unit circle, which is 1. Now for a 45, 45, 90 triangle, the sides are just the hypotenuse, 1, divided by square root of 2. But we don't want to represent our fractions with radicals on the bottom, so we'll multiply the entire thing by root 2 over root 2, which is the same thing as multiplying it by 1. This will get us root 2 over 2. Now we see that this length is the x-coordinate, and this length is the y. So our coordinates for this point will be root 2 over 2. Just keep in mind that when moving to different quadrants, some of our x-coordinates will be negative and some of our y-coordinates will be negative. For instance, in the second quadrant, we see that we'll have negative x points, but positive y points. That makes these coordinates negative root 2 over 2, comma, positive root 2 over 2. Lastly, we can look at 30 degrees and 60 degrees. 30 degrees, to get to radians, we can do the conversion, but let's look at the coordinates. We'll draw, for the 30 degree, a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The 30 degree angle is always across from the shortest side, and the 60 degree angle is always across from the middle side. Our hypotenuse is 1, and the shortest length on a 30, 60, 90 triangle is always the hypotenuse, 1, divided by 2. For the 60 degree side, the side is always the hypotenuse, 1, divided by 2 over root 3. But we know we have a fraction under a fraction, we can just flip our bottom fraction, which will give us root 3 over 2. Since x is the horizontal line and y is the vertical line, our coordinates for 30 degrees should be root 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. For 60 degrees, we're taking this triangle and flipping it up, so our coordinates should just be flipped, 1/2, comma, root 3 over 2. that's about it for the unit circle. Thank you for watching.